All right, we're in the theater for Baby Driver, and no one is here. Okay, someone just said it's the best. Someone who worked just said it's gonna be the best movie we're gonna see all year.
Which it may be true. We'll have to find out.
That was my prophecy. Whatever it's called.
You
anyway,
prophesied it.
No one's here, so that's not good for Edgar Wright, but it's good for us.
Wait. Watch. Bringing it back. Oh, it's too high now.
In consideration of others.
You can't do it. I was gonna do Two Hands Love Story. Remember that?
Oh, I remember.
Welcome to What Movie Should Kennon Watch? This is the outdoor episode because it is currently 12:38 a.m. on a Tuesday. Oh wait, Wednesday.
Oh, it's already Wednesday.
Indeed. You know, Caleb, since we started this podcast, 4 major things have happened in my life.
All right, what are the 4 major things?
3 of them, I forgot. But the 4th one, I got a fidget spinner.
Oh my gosh. And my mic is completely falling.
Maybe I was wrong about the matching stands being the best ones.
That's probably better. It needs to be tightened. Okay.
Unlike you in episode 2, I'm going to put my fidget spinner down.
Yeah.
And not
good idea.
have it be in the
not have a
background
background noise. Oh my gosh. It sounded terrible.
It's okay.
Oh, you just went into yellow. Is that good?
Me in yellow? I think that's actually good. Because in the past, we've been like little squiggles, and I've had to turn it. This is the first time. We'll see how well this podcast goes, but this is the first time I've actually cared about the levels. Otherwise, I'll be like, you can see it. I'll fix it later. But Steve Schott, my instructor, said you'll be turning out the background noise if you don't record with good levels. So I'm going to try it this way, especially since there's going to be lots of background noise because we're outside.
That is true. Apparently it's a beautiful night or a beautiful morning right now, but apparently later it's going to rain.
Uh-oh.
Otherwise we could probably sleep outside.
Oh, that would be fun.
Let's see. Today, you come to What Movies You Can Watch for the best rain weather advice. Yeah, at 5 a.m. it's going to be 30%, 6 a.m. 50, 7 a.m. 60, 8 a.m. 70, 9 a.m. 80, and it just goes up from there. So it's going to rain.
Oh, when you think you're going to yell about something or like talk loudly about something, which I'm sure we're going to do considering the subject tonight.
It's not too loud. We don't want to harass the neighbors, persecute the neighbors or my parents.
Just like step back from the mic a little bit, because I'm sure that was a lovely sound for all you kids at home listening. Anyway, speaking of kids and babies.
Wow, what a segue. I don't think from the title of this episode you probably couldn't guess what movie we just got out of. What movie made me go off the internet for how many days?
How many hours?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For
get out of here. Whatever bug you are.
For 10 days. I was off Letterboxd. I was off Twitter. I was off Facebook. I was off YouTube for 10 whole days.
Nice.
Are you sure you're recording? Speaking of, are you sure you're recording? Are you?
Well, look, there's some spiky things coming in whenever we talk.
Okay, I don't know how these computer things work. But anyway, we recorded a pre-show thing before we went in.
Or did we?
But I accidentally forgot to click the record button.
So we didn't.
What did we say? I said I expected at least 3 amazing match cuts.
No, didn't you say 5?
And then I changed it to 3, I think.
Okay.
We got how many? 6?
No, we got 3. We got 3 for sure ones, and then I tried to stretch it because I thought we were looking for 5. And I'm like, is that a match cut? Every time something remotely.
Anyway, there were 3 amazing match cuts, I'd say.
Oh, beautiful.
What else did we predict? Oh,
we predicted the opening shots.
Oh yeah, Kennon predicted the opening shot.
Ah, yes.
Which was, what was it?
Okay, your prediction was. Do you want to say what your prediction was?
My prediction was going to be a J cut with music, and then like a big chase scene with no talking or anything, just the music, which was not what we got.
Pretty close. I think it was a combination of what we said, but what I said was I think it was like he shows up in the car. It's like mainly about him, and then like he's in the car and then he puts on his earbuds. And
Did he put on his earbuds? I thought they were already in. Or that
I don't
this
know.
is your prediction.
This was my prediction. It was just going to be him in the car jamming out to music. That was going to be the opening. And
Pretty much was that.
it was pretty much that. Spoilers for the first 5 minutes of this movie, which, I mean, you kind of clicked on it to find out what we thought about it, right?
Yeah, it's not like there's a huge twist in it.
Was there a twist at the 30-minute mark?
I'd say no.
Oh, is this the first Edgar Wright film with no twist at the 30-minute mark?
Probably.
Is the 30-minute
It's the first Edgar Wright movie not taking place in the U.S. of A.
Oh, is this not what?
This is the first. I mean, this is the first Edgar Wright that does take place in the U.S. of A.
Okay, I was like, wait
Sorry.
a second, this is America.
Yeah,
It wasn't in the mysterious land of Toronto, Canada.
or the Londons of the English.
Indeed.
Um,
Good show.
what else did we predict anything? Oh, I thought Simon Pegg and
Jackie Chan.
Michael Cera might show up, but they didn't. The guys who they stole the red car from at the end, that could have been Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Oh man.
He missed
now I want that.
He missed a perfect opportunity.
I'm gonna take a rating off of whatever my original rating was, just because that could have been Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. You've given that to me now, and now I want it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we predicted anything else, did we?
Accurately, probably not.
Should we just talk through the movie detailed and go through it?
So we already talked about the intro.
And then it goes
Wait.
to a. Oh wait, go ahead.
Do you want to ask me what the story was?
Well, we can just kind of go through it together.
Okay, so it's
We're going.
we're not
at,
completely ripping.
what
off
is the
Wiki
story?
Planet.
So then after that, there's a one shot, which is
Oh man,
very reminiscent of Shaun of the Dead,
It's
but it's way
it's-
better.
okay. I
It's
was
a
gonna
lot
say
longer. It's like 3
it
times
rivals.
longer.
It's literally the Shaun of the Dead one shot that's repeated, but it's all in one. So is it like a 4-minute one take?
I think there was 2 hidden cuts, but it looks pretty convincing.
Also-
Unlike the Daredevil season 2 one shot, which is complete garbage.
What's the how do you think they set up for the lighting in, because he went into the coffee shop? How do you think they set up for that compared to what it was like outside?
Oh yeah, I thought of that while I was watching, because when you're outside, the sun makes your camera go. Pah! I think there's a way you can do it. They definitely used an ND filter, neutral density filter, which takes out the sun's brightness basically, so then you can have a shallow depth of field outside. And then I don't know the technique of how you go from outside to inside. Maybe another thing, they might just have extremely bright lights inside. Just
I thought of that after I said
that
it. I'm like,
that might be
they
a way.
might just have lights almost as bright as the sun.
Otherwise, I don't know how they did that. And then they go back outside, and then they go inside again.
No,
What-
it cuts when he goes in through the revolving doors, I think.
We'll just walk through it, so because Clayton's gonna listen to this and he's not gonna be able to watch the movie.
Oh man.
All right. After the one shot, he goes in with Kevin Spacey, right? He gets
Yep.
Kevin
And
Spacey.
he's not a cat, or is he? Would you consider him a fat cat?
No.
Okay.
Kevin Spacey's the guy. He's the guy in charge of all the heists. And Baby, who's the guy we've been Wait, there was a heist at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There's a heist at the beginning before the one take, and then Baby, and then what is Kevin Spacey? What is he about?
I don't know. I guess he's just. What is he? It's a
He's
lot.
Doc. His name's Doc.
His name is Doc.
Well, I don't know if that's his code name.
Okay.
They called him Doc.
We never really find out too much about him, let alone his motivations. He's more of a focal point of our main character, Baby.
Baby.
I would say, is that fair to say?
Yeah, what was the quote he said? I didn't hear the word bananas tonight. Is that what
No,
he said?
he opens with bananas. I didn't hear bananas. That's later on
That's
in the
kind
movie.
of funny. What happens after that? There's
After
a lot of talking in this movie. Unlike other Edgar Wright movies where I'd say Scott Pilgrim's has a lot of action.
considering this is the place where action would thrive the most, that's surprising.
Yeah. I was never bored, but I think there could have been more drive in this movie. There was more drive than drive, though, so. Also, Drive has basically the same opening shot. Opening scene, I mean.
Anyway, yeah, I'm trying to, I guess, find a flaw. I don't know. I don't know if this is true, but I might actually say this is the greatest Edgar Wright story so far.
Story.
Maybe not the best Edgar Wright film in terms of execution, which I've said in the past is kind of what sets him apart.
It is the least Edgar Wright movie.
I would agree.
There are
3 match cuts instead of 18.
Yeah, and there are. Oh, that match cut where he's standing and then he's standing in the quarry, or no, in the car place.
Yeah,
That's great. The match cut between a coffee mug and a elevator, pushy button thing. That's great.
oh yeah.
And what's the other one?
Darn. Oh, the laundromat to the record.
Oh yeah. A lot of circles.
Maybe it comes full circle.
Oh my gosh. Would you say this is the most heartfelt Edgar Wright movie?
I said it's the best story because, like, if you think about it, all zombie movies are pretty dumb, even though I've only seen one. And Hot Fuzz is way over the top, even though it's totally great.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to take seriously. World's End is really hard to take seriously.
The World's End is the most original story.
That
Like, you can't. It's
that's
very
true.
hard to beat the originality of that. This is a better movie than World's End.
I would agree.
But in World's End, there's some moments where it's just emotion and just character. Like in all the Cornetto trilogy, there's at least one scene where you're like, oh my gosh, I feel for this character. Like in World's End when... What's the main guy's name?
Gary King.
He's like, this is supposed to be the beginning of the rest of our lives. That's one.
When he
emotional
goes and
part.
tries to grab the last pint at the actual World's End, and then he gets into a fight with his friend.
Yeah, that's one of the best parts of the movie.
I would agree also.
And then
I
in-
love saying I would agree for some reason.
In Shaun of the Dead, there's one, but I don't remember what it is. And then in Hot Fuzz, I'm pretty sure there's one.
Oh, yeah. Also, I think the match cuts were better in Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. I think, yeah, and this is a lot of... the new movie. You edit out all that pause.
Or will I?
Baby Driver has a lot of like longer takes, kind of like World's End in the fighting, but there's less like close-ups of stuff. Would you say that's right? Or am I crazy?
Less close-ups. I guess I didn't really notice
Well,
that.
whenever he's dancing, it's always a one take. It's always a longer take. And then in the World's End, whenever they're fighting, it's always a longer take. But then I guess the rest of the movie's pretty fastly cut.
Anyway, you were saying this is the least Edgar Wright film. I still agree with that. It's just it still shows that it's an Edgar Wright film.
Yeah, and doing this was smart on his part because this is showing that he can go a little bit outside what he is known for. Basically showing studios that he can write and direct a movie that's not everything else he's done. and a little bit different.
I feel like the Cornetto trilogy is him just having fun. Like, people make YouTube videos. His YouTube videos are the Cornetto trilogy. He's like, I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to do my own thing. This is what I want to do. And then he did it, and people love it. And then Scott Pilgrim is a continuation of that same drive and inspiration. And then this is probably, like you said, a branch out, even though you can still tell it's him. I love the part when spoilers. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds, Clayton, to take out your earphones.
2, 1. Everyone dies.
I love the I love the part where you just start laughing when the guy gets stabbed in the car.
Oh, Jamie Foxx. I love it in movies when someone dies abruptly. It's the funniest thing.
It's just like he drives forward and he's
like
he
he's
gets
like, go.
impaled. He gets impaled really violently, and you're like, you just abruptly start laughing. It's great.
So yeah, Jamie Foxx is in the car and the baby won't drive. He's like, go, and then baby just goes forward, and there's like this long rod penetrating out of the back of a truck, and it just totally kills Jamie Foxx.
He's like, I moved.
Oh yeah, and the ending
moved.
At the end of the credits, it says "be moved" for some reason.
Yeah, it was. Was it? I guess I don't know how to necessarily define what a heartfelt movie was, but throughout this entire thing, I was thinking this story is probably the best story from Edgar Wright that we've seen, and I've said that already.
This is the first movie he's written by himself.
Oh, really?
Yes. Every other movie he's co-written.
It was great.
Good job, Edgar Wright. You did it.
Edgar Wright was a writer.
He wrote this so writing well. That didn't make any sense.
Nope. Edgar Wright can really write.
This movie was rated R, but
for no reason.
It did not need to be rated R. I guess there's blood, but there's not that much blood.
No, it's like a PG-13 movie. I'm comfortable sharing this with my parents.
There's just like 20, 30 F words maybe. That's it.
Is it even that?
I don't know.
It gets worse as the movie goes on, but like the first half has like 2 F words.
And then I guess Jamie Foxx gets killed, but you could have just dialed down the blood a little bit. But other than that, there's like nothing bad in this movie. And when I say nothing bad, I mean like killing people's bad, but everyone's seen that in a movie, so we're just so used to people killing people that it's not bad at all. in movie land.
Nice dialing back that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was glad that there wasn't like sex for no reason or anything bad like that. Not. Yeah. You can just edit that part out.
Or will I? With some other things, we mentioned the match cuts. Oh, dude, the intro driving scene, so much suspense. What do you think of the driving in general?
There were a lot of cuts, but that was kind of the rhythm and the essence of Edgar Wright.
The
beats. The music, I wasn't completely sold on it, but listening to it on the car ride home, I like it a lot more. And the thing is, I've never rated an Edgar Wright movie 5 stars right after I get out of it. It always takes me at least 2 or 3 viewings. Like Scott Pilgrim, I only rated 4 stars after I first saw it. Now it's my second favorite movie. And then even Shaun of the Dead, I rated 4 stars. Hot Fuzz, 4.5. World's End, 4.5 after I saw it. I think after I watch this again, I'll like it a lot more. I don't know why, but like Whiplash, I automatically loved it, and I watched it the next day.
And it gets better each time.
But with Edgar Wright movies, there's just something about them. I don't know. Maybe you just notice so much more the second and third time. That's definitely it with Scott Pilgrim. There's so much in that movie.
Yeah. Anyway, we hope this movie doesn't tank terribly because Edgar Wright deserves exposure for this.
Yeah. making it rated R was probably a bad idea. I mean, once it's all filmed and in the can, it'd be kind of hard to edit out all those F words. But during pre-production, they could have been like, "There's nothing really that bad in this." Do you feel like some stuff was cut out? There's some moments in the movie where I'm like, how did the character get out of that situation? Like when they're at the diner, or go ahead.
Yeah, when I don't remember his name, but the guy he bonds with over the music, when he gets out of that shootout with the police.
In the diner?
No, before the diner. And then he shows up in the diner.
Oh, the guy with that who was married to the bad girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, they get out somehow. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the end, the bad guy, he obviously doesn't fall in with that car in the parking lot. It's very Mission Impossible 4, that part. And he suddenly is behind Baby for some reason. That was kind of dumb. This isn't a perfect movie, but I still think it's a great movie.
Why isn't it perfect?
I just explained why.
How dare you?
I definitely recommend it, for sure.
Okay, so I was talking to Murph the other day.
Who's Murph?
Theo.
Oh.
It's his new
It's
letterbox
love, Murph. Love. Everyone go see Interstellar. Greatest movie of all time.
Oh, that's probably why he named his character Murph.
It's love, Murph.
He's like the only guy who likes that movie.
That's the plot twist in that movie, right? It's
I
love.
don't know. I remember
It's
liking
love.
that movie when I
Well,
got
yeah,
out.
it's a good movie.
But like he's basically like, I'm the only person who likes this movie. Everybody hates it.
That's because it's love, Murph.
Anyway, I was talking to him, and I told him to watch Moonrise Kingdom, which is a fantastic movie, and he rated it 4 stars. He loved it, and then he said the third act was disappointing. But he also said, what third act is not disappointing?
Whiplash.
At this point, he had not seen Whiplash.
Oh, wow.
So I spent the next 15 minutes trying to come up with movies. This is before I had seen Whiplash as well. I was like, what movie doesn't have a disappointing third act? So, would you say this movie has a disappointing third act?
Well, let's define what the third act of this movie that we're talking about is.
I would say the third act begins either when the last heist starts or the girl gets shot.
I'd say when the girl gets shot. Were you surprised by when Jamie Foxx and the girl dies?
Yes. I was surprised not only that, but like that Baby would be the one to get them in that situation. I don't think it's unfair to say he killed Bats.
He killed at least 3 people, I think.
But his entire motivation was that, like, at least I don't kill people. And then he started killing people. Which is something that bothered me. I'm trying to
There were a
understand.
few other things where characters did something that they would never do. Like, why did Kevin Spacey just go and kill those guys? Or no, just because at the end when Kevin Spacey dies, why did everything he did before that, why did he do that? Because he saw Baby and he's like, oh, this was me and he's in love now, so now I'm going to make him be able to be in love. Is that why?
I think that it was partially because they'd been through a bunch together. So there was definitely a bond between them. And Baby hadn't asked for anything before this.
Mm-hmm.
And so after all this, even though he'd betrayed him, he's like, well, I'm kind of done anyway. I don't know. That's one explanation for it. And another explanation for why Baby just goes and kills people is how else, I guess, would it be that he would get out of the situation? Bats even prophesied it that in the business, it's it's hard to it's impossible to have a heart, and then the way he gets out is by killing those people. But it still doesn't make sense with his character. But he still pays for his actions. I'm waffling back and forth here, trying to decide whether I like this plot point of him sort of betraying his character. I think sometimes it's okay to betray your character but it be acknowledged. You know? A little better than hanging a lantern. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's a point where this person did something that they never do, that has to be a major plot point. It can't just be scraped over.
Yeah.
You know, like, if somebody kills somebody and they vowed not to kill anybody, they have to, at some point, go, what have I done? And it has to be a crux of the character, a focal point, not a focal point, an axis, if you will, for turning the character. I recently watched, I'll get more into this on what movie has Kennon watched, but I recently watched the Philadelphia Story, I think it is. And that movie's got a great example of somebody doing something that they would totally never do, but then that turns into, that whole movie is about understanding human frailty and that people do dumb things and we have to love them even though they do dumb things. So, steering back to this movie, get it? Steering?
Ha!
I'm trying to decide if the flaws of the character were handled well enough to give it a pass.
Mm-hmm.
Not the
It
movie
doesn't
as
break the movie. I
No,
mean,
I'm not saying like, oh, it's crap.
I'm
'cause
not
of that.
saying
I'm saying
you're
like,
saying that. I'm just saying that's just to say that.
okay, I'm saying that giving the flaw of the character a pass, not the movie a pass, because the movie's great.
Yeah. Those things that just. How long have those things been dingling over there?
Since the beginning, people know we're outside.
Let
it's
me
okay.
I can just go grab those because that's gonna be really annoying. You can just talk while I'm gone. Okay.
I was just talking this entire time.
I just noticed that.
I did zero talking while he did that. And we're back.
What did you think? Oh, I got it. Talk in front of the mic. Ow. What did you think of the colors?
Not as colorful as some of other Edgar Wright works.
Such as?
World's End definitely is very colorful. I'd say Scott Pilgrim is very colorful. It's that some great movies that make me feel good because of the way the image looks are Scott Pilgrim and Moonrise Kingdom, which
I was gonna say any Wes Anderson movie.
yeah, like they have great color palettes and it makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside when you watch it. I don't think it was the purpose of this film to make you feel warm and fuzzy, so I'm forgiving that it doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
I thought the lighting in some shots were really good.
Blue and orange. What do you think of the villain? Do you think the villain was well developed?
I think John Hamm is his actor name. Ham.
Ham is his name?
John Hamm. I think so.
Okay.
He's the guy. You're at saying the villain. He's the guy who liked the girl, right? Or who is
Yeah.
married. Yeah.
I guess
was fine.
Jamie Foxx is his name, right? Jamie Foxx?
The black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. He was a good villain too.
Yeah, they were all kind of the bad guys of the story, I guess, even though Baby was kind of working with them.
And then he eventually kind of became them to get rid of them.
Yeah. That was kind of weird. No, it wasn't. That wasn't weird. It was good.
I think it was good because in the end he stopped running away because he realized that wasn't who he was, and he turned himself in.
Yeah.
And I think that is one of the points where I forgive kind of him turning on himself.
Yeah, I like the ending, because if they would have just rode into the sunset, it wouldn't have been as good.
I agree. There wouldn't be that sense of closure. And also, in Shaun of the Dead, you know how every little gag or something comes back at the end or like is resolved? There's some other match to it.
Yeah.
That happens in this, but at the very end in the court scene, where
Wait.
every kind deed that he does during a crime is brought to his testimony to help him in his sentence.
Yeah, there's never like in The World's End, there's this sign on the out of order sign that she gives him, and then that comes back because they put it on the door where they killed all the people. There's never one of those kind of moments in this movie, which kind of is, I guess, the good deeds, but I like kind of the physical sign or the like a physical object kind of being coming back. Can you think of anything in this movie?
He drives into the truck and kills Jamie Foxx in the same way his parents died.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I liked the flashbacks to him as a child. I thought they totally worked. And I liked his in like
I realize nobody can hear me nod.
I liked the black and white parts.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was a good match cut. Not match cut, but like it ended up like that was his dream, and then the next part was black and white. The ending was black and white, and then it faded to color as in his dream came true.
Yeah.
Like in Walter Mitty. I mean,
You
I
don't
still haven't seen the
movie.
end half of that movie.
Really?
I have, but it's been probably
that
2-3
ending is
years.
just garbage.
2-3 years since I've seen the last half. I'm seeing the
The-
last half next year at Preston's next party.
The first half is way better than the second half, I must say. There's just so much stupid stuff that happens in the second half.
I don't know. We're not talking about Walter Mitty. I kind of just brought that up for fun.
If you can't tell, I'm tired, and it's 1-1-1. What else is in this?
111 already?
Yeah.
Wow.
What else is in this movie?
We talked about the match cuts. We talked about the driving a little bit. I would agree with the Mission Impossible 4 statement at the end. What did you think of Kevin Spacey's death?
Who cares is great. No, I liked it. He got totally rammed by a car, and it never says he dies, but he totally did die.
He got run over like twice or 3 times.
And he got shot before that, so he's probably really
Yeah, he's
dead.
he's like triple dead. Like even Billy Crystal in Princess Bride couldn't save him. Oh, come on.
So direction good, story good, cinematography good. I guess
We skipped a lot in the middle.
some parts might have been skipped over, or like some parts felt like they could have had more to them.
Wait,
Is it pacing that we don't like? What is the thing we don't like? What makes this not
I'm
perfect?
saying you were saying it's the least Edgar Wright film, and then you are saying that it feels like there's some it wouldn't be continuity errors, it's just plot holes.
Yeah, this is just minor plot holes. Just some things that weren't explained. So not necessarily plot holes, just things that I would have liked to have explained.
Yeah, and I'm all for subtlety in a movie, and I don't want to have messages hammered over the head in movies, but I think the resolving of him killing people in the end could have been dealt with more clearly, I think. I still had to think about it, but he paid for his actions, and he clearly made that decision. So
It was all for the girl.
It was all for the girl. Was that the message? What do you think the message was?
Ugh.
Probably spiked.
I I don't know. It's hard. Messages in movies are hard unless it's like
Really, but okay,
unless it's Napoleon Dynamite, because that has the clearest message of any movie.
What is
he
the
has
message?
He has a friend now. Friendship is match, my little pony. That's the message of Napoleon Dynamite.
What? It's My Little Pony. Oh man, I was telling I sent a picture of Beach Boys record, me playing the Beach Boys record to Theo the other day, and I was like, almost as good as the My Little Pony vinyl, which exists if you go to a certain Hot Topic.
That's why I don't shop at Hot Topic. That's for goth and 13-year-olds.
Oh my gosh, what's the difference?
Oh, we just offended everyone that is in that thing we said. What did you think of the romance?
Oh, I loved it. I usually am like, if romance is handled terribly, I'm like, ugh, gross. This was great. It was perfect. It was very
not as good as
innocent.
Whiplash, but like they didn't have sex right away, and they didn't have sex at all, which is great. Unlike every single action movie, and by every single action movie I mean the bad action movies probably.
Wonder Woman.
What is that down there?
Oh,
I wonder what that is.
Oh. I hated that scene.
Oh, in the Bobby Burns review, it's like, oh man, we're gonna watch the Bobby Burns review of Wonder Woman. It's great. It wasn't the best romance I've ever seen, but it was pretty good. I'd say it's one of the positive parts of the movie.
I thought, going back to the beginning and kind of the middle, I thought the world building in this was fantastic.
Yeah, and there wasn't very much to the world. There was the diner, the coffee shop, the place where they meet to plan all the heists, and then 5 other places where they go, maybe, which is very small compared to a lot of other movies. So this movie, what do you think the budget was? I mean, it probably was a lot, but it probably wasn't as much as The World's End or Scott Pilgrim.
How much was World's End?
I have no idea. I just know Shaun of the Dead was $4 million.
4 million?
Which is nothing for
Wow.
a movie. And that movie is way better than Batman v Superman, which has like $260 million. $260 $260 million dollar budget.
Wasn't it 400,000 for Batman v Superman? I don't know. I fell asleep during that movie.
Oh yeah, you watched the rated R extended cut. How is that?
I fell asleep, so I probably missed the stuff that was rated R.
I bet Batman kills more people.
I haven't gotten to the point where Batman kills anybody. I fell asleep.
Dude, he kills like
I remember
100 people.
Dude, I remember distinct musical moments and that there was like fighting going on. I think I was half awake.
Don't waste your time. It's a crap movie.
The last thing I remember is Flash coming through the computer screen, I think.
Oh yeah, that's the best part of the movie when Flash jumps out of a computer screen.
I'm glad to end on a high note. Oh, I remember the dirt of Superman's grave.
They couldn't even kill him off for 10 minutes. They had to say, "Oh, he's coming back because you're stupid, audience. You don't know he's gonna come back. Oh, we have to tell you." Yeah, this movie doesn't treat you like an idiot.
Exactly. That's why I'm like,
and it's one of the only. This movie, if I were to put money on whether it's gonna tank or not, I'd say it probably would tank just because it's not Transformers. It doesn't have very many explosions. It's pretty contained. It's really good, which sometimes means it doesn't make any money. Like Shawshank Redemption was a huge bomb.
oh really?
Yeah, that's one of the examples of a great movie that made no money.
Darn. That's on one of the top lists for like everybody, right?
They say most American men have that on their top 10 somewhere. I don't know if that's true, but it's in my top 3.
But yeah, this is a great story. They developed Baby really well.
Yeah, I'm glad we We saw this a day before it came out. Yeah.
So I'm gonna work really hard tomorrow to be able to get it out on time so people can listen.
Oh,
So
do you want to see this again tomorrow?
If we're not doing anything, sure, we can give our follow-up thoughts.
Yeah, I don't. This is the least. Do you think this is the least rewatchable Edgar Wright movie? Because it kind of was like a real. See, I think of Edgar Wright movies as not really movies. I don't know. It's a different level. This was more to the level of a movie. Like there's like you can tell there's a beginning, middle, and end, and there's like stuff that happens in the beginning that's kind of more boring. Like Scott Pilgrim, that first 5 minutes, I could rewatch that every day and never get tired of it. But this first 5 minutes is pretty good too.
So you mean like, it would deteriorate faster in your mind if you rewatched it, faster than it would, say, Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, this movie isn't as good as Scott Pilgrim. That's another thing.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to beat such great there were no as good transitions as in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
It was definitely the most.
But he didn't try to one-up himself. That's another thing. If he would have tried and failed, that would have been worse than us not trying to. He wasn't going for that Scott Pilgrim vibe.
He still had Edgar Wright moments. Also, subtlety in this movie. I loved one of the scenes that sticks out now is when he's at his flat when he's about to go up to Joe. And
Is Joe the black guy?
Yeah, the black guy in the wheelchair. And Kevin Spacey's down there, and he's like, he starts talking about Joe, and then he's like, is the stairs hard for him? And then Baby's like, we have an elevator. And he's like, oh, fancy. And he calls the elevator, and then he says, see you tomorrow. The elevator arrives. Baby doesn't use the elevator. He used the stairs because he's avoiding using anything that was called by Kevin Spacey.
See, I totally missed that. I did not know who they were talking about. See, that's another thing. Once I rewatch it, I'll like this movie more because I'll understand the scenes and how they're working.
Yeah, sometimes I lose movies when I forget who the characters are. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they do a bad job of explaining that. I was able to follow with this pretty well, though.
How many times do they say baby in this movie?
Probably. A lot. Do all of the songs have to do with baby somehow? Probably. Are they all baby songs?
There was a lot. Do you think they'd say it 50 to 100 times in this movie?
I don't know. I have no clue.
There's more babies, the word of baby, than any cuss word, so that's good. That's
great. They probably said the word baby as much as they said the F word in World's End. Every time they say baby, take a shot of water if you're underage.
You'll get super hydrated.
Yeah.
This is kind of every single Edgar Wright film combined. The text from Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, dude, the text for the name
great.
of the...
It was awesome.
Oh, man.
So basically, if you're Clayton and you didn't watch the movie, there's his roommate, which I don't know why this old black guy is Baby's roommate. Oh, I didn't know that his name was Baby. That surprised me. See, if I would have watched the trailer, I bet they say Baby a million times. But I didn't know. Did you know his name was Baby?
I did not know until they called him Baby several
times.
I'm like,
it's okay. It's
literally
Baby Driver, and his name's Baby.
It's literally Baby Driver. It's better than like Boss Baby, and it's like, oh, it's a literal baby. No, his name's.
Get it? Because the name's the Boss Baby, and the baby is a boss. Ha!
That was the best
his
name's I've ever heard.
His name's Baby, and he's a driver, and that's why it's called Baby Driver. Ha! That wasn't as good.
No, your other
just
one.
Edit in the other ha to right there. Perfect. Every time I'll just pause so you can edit in the best one.
Great.
So yeah, the text from Scott Pilgrim is implemented into this one. The longer takes from World's End is implemented. The okay, in the Shaun of the Dead, one of the final scenes when they're hitting the zombie and it's all to the beat of the music.
Yeah.
Almost every scene was to the beat of the music in Baby Driver.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
okay, what did they take from?
How did
Hot
I forget
Fuzz?
that?
That's one of the best parts of this movie.
Everything
is with the music.
Okay, like the music. I just made a list before I came here. It was best. No, it was movies that use soundtracks to the point of the story, like use iconic soundtracks. And Baby Driver's number 1. Number 2 is Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And the number 4 is Suicide Squad. Because Suicide Squad tries and fails to be everything that Baby Driver did. Oh my gosh. I'm adding Shaun of the Dead to that list because of that beat editing reminded me.
Okay, so we figured out what it. Oh, and the opening, one of the wonders from Shaun of the Dead was taken into Baby Driver. What did it take from Hot Fuzz? I'm trying to remember. Shooting people. Boom. Every Edgar Wright movie combined into one. We did it. Baby Driver.
What was
What did they actually take from Hot Fuzz?
There was no aliens in spoilers for World's End. We spoiled that twice now. Too early. It's
I
just
said they killed the people.
Spoiler alert: aliens.
What did they take from Hot Fuzz? There's gotta be something else. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Shooting
they
people.
took the character feels the most out of all of the characters we've gotten so far. Probably Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, because he likes a girl.
Scott Pilgrim was dating a high schooler.
Scott Pilgrim was dating a high schooler. What's the line after that? What
Is
are
she
you,
hot?
Scott? What are you, Scott? Like 27? 22.
No, it's 28. I recently rewatched
Gosh
it.
dang it. I rewatched the first 10 minutes with commentary, and then I ran out of time. So I had to watch another movie.
You need to come on our new show, which is
yeah,
whatever the crap this is.
I can't wait.
Okay, the
We'll
first
explain
episode is
that
not out yet,
later.
but it should be by the time this comes out, because I think Preston gave it to me. It's just commentary for movies with the sound off, which is a...
we should watch like a really, really hard to follow. Like if you watch Memento with no sound, you'd be like, what is going on? But a movie that's like that we haven't seen, so it'll be like, what is happening?
like Dinosaur Island.
But Dinosaur Island sounds and looks like a crap movie.
But it's a 5-star movie.
I don't.
You don't believe me?
I
We
haven't
have to
I
watch
haven't
it
been
with
on
the
Letterboxd in
commentary.
a while. Okay, anything else from Baby Driver? Let's get to our ratings and then let's look online and see what other people think.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't looked on Letterboxd. I just know Houston rated it 5 stars.
Yeah, so I had no I knew nothing going into this. I knew the Chris Stuckman thumbnail. One person on Letterboxd rated it 5 stars. I saw the critic score like a long time ago, and like 5 people reviewed it. So that means nothing. I think it was like 70 something. And I've been off the internet for a while, so I haven't seen any. I didn't see any of the trailers. Thank the Lord, all the Edgar Wright trailers are garbage. Like Scott Pilgrim spoils the whole movie. The World's End spoils all the alien stuff. So I stayed away from the trailers. It's not a perfect movie, but it's a great movie,
I would agree.
and I loved it. So do you want to say our ratings on 3?
I am almost sure of what yours is because of what you said earlier in the podcast.
What was the thing I said earlier?
Uh,
I'm debating between 2 ratings, but I think I'm gonna go with the higher of the 2.
I think I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to make sure that I'm good with that. Yes, I am good with my conscience. All right,
All right.
ready?
3, 2, 1,
15 out of 16.
Yes.
It's just there's a few flaws, and it's not as Edgar Wrighty, so it doesn't stand out as much. But it's a fantastic film. I love the character of Baby.
Once I rewatch it, I might grow to love it even more. It is all right, let's rank them. Definitive ranking of the podcast, unless you have something else to say.
Okay. Also, The thing I was going to tell you in the recording that never happened, when you told me to stop, was the list I saw. This is the other thing that I saw that wasn't the critic score or anything. Was a list just by somebody. I don't remember.
On
who.
Letterboxd?
Yeah, I don't think I followed him. It was just called Edgar Wright. It didn't say ranked. It just said Edgar Wright, and then it had the movies in a row. It had Scott Pilgrim, Baby Driver, and then the trilogy. So I'm not sure if that was ranked or just a list of Edgar Wright movies.
This is my ranking. I don't know if Scott Pilgrim, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, Baby Driver, The World's End.
I can't argue with that because
Baby Driver and Shaun of the Dead are really close, but I think Shaun of the Dead is first, and it's just a little bit more Edgar Wright.
Shaun of the Dead, I feel like I'm saying I don't like Baby Driver, but that's not true because Baby Driver was great. It was really good. But Shaun of the Dead just shines. And looking back on I recently rewatched Shaun of the Dead. And I kind of skipped around, but the color is a lot better. This in my Blu-ray version for some reason, it just got better the second time. And
like most Edgar Wright movies.
yeah, I want to see if Baby Driver gets better the second time now too. But I definitely the story is I would probably say the most heartfelt out of definitely the Cornetto trilogy. I'm not sure about Scott Pilgrim. I'd have to rewatch it. But I would agree with that definitive ranking.
All right,
if you don't count Ant-Man.
Oh yeah, that's kind of sad because that movie would have been. I mean, it's pretty good. It's probably like a 4 or 3.5 star movie.
It's fine,
but
it's like a 3.5.
But it would have been 4.5, 5 star movie if Edgar Wright would have totally had complete creative.
I remember
control.
Sin of the Sins was like when the Thomas the Tank Engine thing went over. Like there was that scene. He was just like, this is great, but it's also sad because it reminds us of what this movie would have been like if Edgar Wright would have stayed.
So best movie 2017 thus far?
Absolutely. Better than Logan.
Ooh, better than Logan.
Murph gave Logan 3 stars.
Logan is at least a 4-star movie, but it's higher than that.
I don't know. I agree with him now that like there's a lot of screaming in that movie.
There's a lot of saying the word baby and driving in Baby Driver. There's also a lot of cuts and a lot of shots, which a lot of movies have cuts and shots, and a lot of movies film things. So therefore, it is generic.
Car.
Oh,
did you see the Marvel Cinematic Universe analyzed?
By Houston?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, I watched part of it, and there's this scene, pretty good. I don't know if I'll rate it on Letterboxd, especially until I finish it. Anyway, there's some of the stuff when he's doing commentary, he has a mic with him, and he has like his camera set like here, and he's like walking on the street. So he's filming himself walking on the street like an extreme wide angle, but you can still hear him because he's walking with the mic in his script.
Mm-hmm.
But that the car passed by, and it made me think, because there's this moment where he's talking and walking on the street, and like a car passes by, and it just zooms in on his face, and he just looks at the camera. His audio got ruined.
That's funny. All right, so guess what the baby movie has on the IMDb's? Guess
on
what?
IMDb?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 8.7.
I'm going to say 8.9.
Oh.
All right. 6.4 is the rating of the Boss Baby.
Oh, Boss Baby. I'm like, wait, what?
All right. So say that again. 8.7.
8.7, and you said 8.9.
All right. Wait, hang on. 8.6.
Oh.
You were 1 point off. All right. Let's guess the critic score. I'm gonna say 88%.
That's probably what people will think. I don't know. I'm gonna do it on what I hope people rate it, which is a 96.
Oh, I just got an ad. What is it? Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Is it 96?
It is 98%.
Yes! I was
90
going to say 99. I was so close to saying 99.
This is the highest rated Edgar Wright movie on Rotten Tomatoes. Guess what the user score is?
What?
98.
Nice.
All right, let me just double check that, but I am 90% sure that is the highest rated Edgar
I am
Wright.
so sorry for the crappy audio because I can see
All right,
a lot
Hot
of it,
Fuzz
like,
91. Scott Pilgrim's like 70 something. World's End's like 89. Let's see what Shaun of the Dead is.
Wait, you said Hot Fuzz is 70 something?
No,
Scott Pilgrim
Scott
is?
Pilgrim is.
No, it's up in the 80s now.
Shaun of the Dead is 92. Scott Pilgrim versus 81. So yeah, this is the highest rated Edgar Wright movie according to
It's
Rotten
the
Tomatoes.
best story. But also Murph said that most critics are pretty bad at judging movies. It means nothing. It's all subjective.
Well, somewhat.
But it still means that people are more likely to go see it because it has a good score.
That is true. Rated R for violence and language throughout. Great.
I would.
All right, so now let's
Yeah.
guess what the Letterboxd ranking is. Wow,
Oh,
I haven't
hold
opened
on.
Letterboxd in 10 days.
I want to say Logan is definitely more of an R movie than this movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. Logan earns it.
This one does not,
No.
though it earns our
Also,
praise.
the movie Grand's Piano, it is the most PG/PG-13 movie I've ever seen, and there's one F word that you can see someone say, and then there's another F word that they put in post. So they wanted the R-rated movie for some reason. I don't understand why though. I don't understand why people want that.
I don't know. I really want to see that movie. Anyway, Letterboxd rating. I'm gonna guess 4.1.
I'm gonna guess 3.9
Okay,
because it's either one of those.
it's a 4.1.
It's 4.2.
Ah, yes! I am on a roll.
Oh man,
I am on a driving streak.
grand freaking tastic.
I'm so proud of myself right now for guessing arbitrary numbers that happen to be the right ones.
But 4.1 is probably what's gonna land at. That's awesome. I'm glad Edgar Wright is getting the rating he deserves. I don't know if it's gonna make any money.
I hope so.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Oh wait, no, just kidding. I thought that people saw this movie on Monday, but no, they saw it on Tuesday.
Okay, you wanted to be the first one.
I wanted to
see
be
it.
one of the first people. All right, good. Most people saw it when we did. Oh man, being on Letterboxd, this is crazy. Okay, now, are we done with Baby Driver for right now? We might do a follow-up episode, or just edit it into this episode after this.
Here would be where the cut is. Thanks for listening to What Movie Should Kennon Watch.
Something is wrong with my baby.
This is our follow-up episode.
Something is wrong with me.
Caleb, would you say this is like a musical?
Oh, it's definitely like a...
That's Caleb on the other end of the room.
Wow, that was a great follow-up. First day of shooting for the zombie movie went pretty well. Okay, bye. All right, so nope, time has passed for us, but maybe the time has passed for you.
I don't know.
Let's just get right into it. I want to do this. What do you think the critic score for Transformers is? I have seen... I did not click on the Weekly Planet podcast just so we could do this. I know nothing. I've seen the
Transformers:
trailer.
The Last Night.
Yeah.
Let's make this. We have to be sure about this rating. Okay, Night has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters. 6 divided by 2 is 3. How many Transformers are there? 5. Now, wait, is this the fourth one?
It's the fifth one.
Okay, I was right. 5. 5 plus
Edgar,
3 is 8. Now, how many critic scores are on the, I don't know. Wait. 8 divided by 2 is 4, plus 0.2 is 4.2, which is the Letterboxd score for Baby Driver.
And 4, if you add that, is 8.2, and 8.2 times 2 minus 2 is 17. So I think it's 17. Do you agree?
Have you looked?
No.
I'm gonna say
I just
it
feel I
is
just
a
have a
fifth. It is the fifth movie.
It's either like 8 or 11 or 17. I have a good feeling about those three numbers.
I'm gonna say 25.
I'm gonna say 17.
You're probably right. It's about time you're right,
Do you
though.
want to bet on anything? No.
Bet?
It doesn't matter. I haven't seen anything. Okay, opening Flickster.
3, 2, 1.
It is loading. The guess what it's 55 on users. Oh, and an ad comes up. 15%. I was 2 off.
Nice. He finally wins one.
Well, at least it's crap. Great. Okay, who cares?
Transformers: The Last Night. That's gonna make way more money. Do you think that's gonna make more money than Baby Driver? That's sad, just because it has a name slapped on it.
It's got Mark Wahlberg. It's directed by Michael Bay. Who cares? I'm not gonna see it.
Edgar Wright is a better director than Michael Bay, even though... Have I seen a Michael Bay film? I don't think I've seen any of the Transformers. But who owns... Remember I got you Transformers 3 from Walmart?
Yeah.
We haven't seen that. I don't know where it is. Is it my house or your house?
I don't know. It's probably back in where the DVDs are at my house.
I'm going to just have like a crappy DVD shelf where Food Fight, Transformers 3, and Dinosaur Island sit in solitary confinement. We should do Transformers for whatever the crap this is. That would be funny to see. But I think next episode we were wanting to do Scott Pilgrim because you love that movie so much, and we need the exposure because so many people who listen to this podcast need to go listen to the other one. Man, I can't wait to have people actually start listening to this podcast. we have like maybe 4 or 5 good fans, which is good, but
that's good. We're doing
It's a
this
good
for
start.
fun. We're not doing this for money. We
Yeah.
have all the equipment.
we're not doing it
we
for
just
the
want to
money.
monetize everything because we make loads off this podcast.
This episode is sponsored by Audible.
All right.
Um,
Speaking of fans, guess who listened to our previous episode?
Who?
You get to guess.
Kevin McCreary.
All right. If I tell you what the episode's about, you'll know right away. Guess who listened to our Missouri trip in episode?
Oh, Caleb Harris.
Yes. Guess what he said?
What?
I will read his text. He said, "Haha, that was funny. I think you guys got a bad DVD. I would totally guest star in an episode and talk about the making of the film and the story of how it came to be." Yes. We are gonna get a guest. We're gonna get a real director on this show.
Oh my gosh.
And I said that'd be awesome. Let's do it sometime this summer. He said, "Hit me up whenever. I'll be down."
Nice. I love... Okay, one of my favorite parts in that entire podcast is when you lose it. When I say, okay, you know how Ferris Bueller breaks the fourth wall? This movie breaks the fifth wall.
Oh man, that was so funny.
You just lose it, and it's the best. We're just laughing for about 10 seconds straight, and that's all you hear.
I listened to that part with my mom, and she thought it was hilarious.
It's by far the best part of the podcast. Then it kind of just falls flat. I mean...
the Missouri trip and part of that podcast is great.
It is.
The rest is fine. Speaking of fine, we can do this next. We're gonna record another episode tomorrow probably, and I've got stuff to say. Oh, Death Note. We'll do that. Clayton's gonna guest star in an episode. I don't know what it'll be about. Maybe a Meek's cut off. We'll watch the Death Note trailer there.
Yeah.
But I've already watched it, so you guys will watch it.
Wait, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna wait.
Well, I watched it just to see if it was real because I didn't know if it was real because it wasn't on an official
Oh
channel.
yeah, duh.
And then I'm like, is this real or is it not? Because that voice sounded like William Dafoe. And then
Is it William or Willem Dafoe?
Willie Styles Dafoe. And then I looked online and it said the new trailer's out. I'm like, this came out in March. Is this real? And then I looked on Netflix and I was like, oh yeah, this is real. It came out on the Netflix channel. So then I watched it about 10 more times. I think we'll talk about it next episode. It came out in March. Did you hear about this?
Nope.
I just heard about it today. What is this? That was like how many months ago?
Nobody
5 months ago. No, not even 5.
Nobody heard about Baby Driver yet. All the people I texted were like, "What's Baby Driver?"
I heard about Baby Driver a while ago.
Yeah, because you
I'm a
told me about
true
it like
fan. I'm a
all the
true
time.
fan.
But I had to explain for like 30 seconds what I was seeing, and then the guy I was texting, he's like, "Oh yeah, okay, I didn't even know this was coming out." But hopefully he'll go watch it now.
Hopefully. Yeah, go watch Baby Driver. Go support it. Even if you're not allowed to see it, just go buy a ticket.
You go buy a ticket and then just like give it to some homeless man.
Yeah, yeah, sure. It's good to be back on Letterboxd. It's good to be back.
You should start your review with "I'm back, baby."
I'm back, baby. Do you wanna do what movie has Kennon watched?
Yes. So, as I mentioned, I watched the Philadelphia Story. That's the name of it, right? Let me double check that.
Well, you're double checking. I just wrote all the movies I watched in notes since I wasn't on. Okay. Have you heard of the movie The Last Samurai?
Yes, I've been wanting to. No, wait. The Last Samurai, is that the one with
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise? Yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
It's rated. It's another one of the rated R movies that there's no reason for it to be rated R.
You should make a list.
I should. There hasn't even been an F word. There's been no blood. Probably. It's the most. It's a 3-hour movie. I watched probably. It took me like 3 days to watch 2 hours of it. It's a bad movie. It's just so generic. It's boring. The action scenes are dumb. There's a really dumb action scene that happens for no reason. It's bland. The editing's bad. You don't realize how much an editing is an art until you see a bad edited movie. This is a bad edited movie. Some of the cinematography is good, I guess, but I do not recommend this. I do not understand why Chris Stuckman says it's of the 50 films of the 2000s to see before you die. It's not.
Okay. I'm going to mention in one fell swoop all of the movies I've seen since Missouri Trippin', but I'm going to talk about the ones that are worth talking about. Because the first one is Kung Fu Panda 3, and that is not worth talking about.
Why did you watch that?
Because it was fun. It was with my mom. We wanted something light and fun. And
You could have watched a better light and fun movie, though.
which the very next day, well, 2 days later, we watched Porco Rosso.
Oh, so good. You're watching... that's worth talking about.
Yeah, I'm going to come back to it. I watched Beauty and the Beast, the new one. Rewatched Whiplash.
Yes.
I watched Midnight in Paris.
Oh, you did?
I did.
I have no idea what you thought of it, because I haven't been on Letterboxd. This is awesome. I don't know if you loved it or hated it.
I rewatched Shaun of the Dead. I watched scenes from The Incredibles, but I also watched the shorts from it, like Mr. Incredible and Pals. Do you have the bonus disc for The Incredibles?
I don't know.
Do you have The Incredibles?
I did at one point. I don't know if I still do.
Okay. If you go to the bonus disc, the second disc, and go to the setup menu and wait for 20 seconds, there's an icon that pops up on the top right-hand corner of the screen. You go up, select it. It plays the entire movie in sock puppets.
Really?
There's a sock puppets version of The Incredibles hidden on the setup menu of the disc.
Oh my gosh, you sound like a kid from the 90s who just discovered something on his...
John had to tell me about it. It's that hard to find. It exists, though. And it's just like this 4-minute sock puppet thing. It's great. I watched the Philadelphia Story. Oh, wait. I watched Larry Boy and the Rumor Weed.
Nice.
Is
it good?
The Philadelphia Story. I'm coming back to all this. Dinosaur Island. And Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Let's talk about Porco Rosso. That is a good movie.
I'd say it's a great movie.
I would probably have to rewatch it because, again, I had your opinion in mind of, like, this movie's amazing.
the movies that I thought were the most amazing of Hayao Miyazaki, I knew nothing about. Like, I heard about Spirited Away, and I heard that it was like one of the greatest movies ever. So it kind of disappointed me. The ones I knew nothing about blew me away. So now it's gonna be like, you heard my opinion, so sorry. Because now
It's okay. I still rated it. I rated it 5 stars my first watch, at first, and then I'm like, I don't know. I gave it 4.5 just because I don't know how I feel about it. If it's like one of my favorite movies, but that being said, it's a great movie. Also,
the ending is spectacular.
really,
The ending is so good. It's like the shot of the garden.
yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Why?
So how it ends is they're fighting, and then she kisses him, which we know which they say previously in the movie that, like, if you get kissed, you might turn back into a human. That sounds dumb. It's not. She kisses him. He's like, "What happened to your face?" And then you never see him again. He flies off, and then it's narration, and she's like, "What's her face got her dream or whatever," and then it's just the garden, and we know previously that her dream was him coming to the garden, and from the shot of the garden, it's telling us from a shot instead of someone telling us that they got together, and then it ends.
Okay, so I didn't think the garden told us that. I thought it was just a closing image, like this was.
The garden told us that they got together.
Oh, okay. Also, I liked the subtlety of like him getting his face back and then not showing his face.
Yeah, that was great.
Also, people talk about attractive female leads in movies, and most of them have not seen Porco Rosso.
Get your butt that looks bigger than it looks in there. Whatever. That line is hilarious. Mr. Birdman himself, Michael Keaton plays he plays the best pig ever. What else is amazing in that movie? I loved the first time I watched it. I was blown away by when all the pilots go up to heaven.
Oh,
That was great. The second viewing, it wasn't as spectacular as I remembered it, but I loved that part. And then I thought when they're on the beach and they're talking about God.
oh yeah,
that was
it's
pretty great.
Christian.
That's like number 5 on my best Christian movies of all time list.
Nice.
Okay, so can we talk about Midnight in Paris first? Let me tell you why I don't like it before you say anything.
Okay.
I think it was boring, and that's all I say in my review, so I don't really remember it. I don't remember it. Does Rachel McAdams look at the camera in like the middle of the movie?
I don't remember.
That was the one part I laughed. Is this your first Woody Allen movie?
I think so. Yeah, we were gonna watch another Woody Allen movie, and then this one was shorter or something. Oh, it was on Netflix, so we watched that one.
Which Woody Allen movie were you going to watch?
The one that's better, Annie Hall.
Annie Hall. Yeah, this movie is probably more appropriate than Annie Hall, even though Annie Hall's PG. But Annie Hall's still not that bad. Anyway, tell me what you thought.
Okay.
You're a little more intellectual than I am, I think.
Okay.
Woody Allen movies are...
Thank you.
Woody Allen movies... This movie is not targeted towards me. This movie is for adults and people who are super smart, probably. Would you say that?
No wonder Houston rated it 4 stars.
And then Drew gave it like 2 stars.
Yeah, later he was like, yeah, I forgot it the next day.
All right.
He's like, no.
I have no idea what you thought of this movie, so tell
Okay.
me why I'm wrong, maybe.
Okay, my initial review, 3.5 stars.
Okay. I can
It
see that.
felt longer than 90 minutes, and it's not very plausible, and it kind of felt like nothing happened in this movie, but I somehow still liked it. The themes are definitely apparent, and then I go on about how it still feels long. It was a creative movie. Ernest Hemingway was cool, though, because he talked like he does in his books. I remember that. Have you read an Ernest Hemingway book?
Probably not.
Okay.
I didn't get any of those references because
I
didn't
didn't
read
get
those
any of them
books.
except for Ernest Hemingway, because I read one in Challenge 1. I read The Old Man and the Sea, I think is the name of the book, and it's so hard to read. Not so hard to read, but his sentences are... He doesn't use any commas. He just uses and after and after and. So when he was talking to him and he was talking about his war experiences, and he was like, and then I went over the hill and we were trying to fight the enemy and I was bleeding out and there was another man trying to shoot and it's like he just used ands and it was not only a joke it was not only a gag in the movie, but that was totally his character. I was like, that's smart. So that was about the only reference I got from all the people. Next,
Wait, I have something to say. The color in that movie is great. It's really,
I think that's
really
what made me.
warm.
That's what made me rate it 3.5 stars at first, was because it made me feel warm and fuzzy because of the color.
if I was an adult, I'd probably like this movie,
But you're not.
but I'm not.
That's why you like kids movies like Porco Rosso.
Yeah. Wow. Chance gave it 5 stars.
It's not a 5-star movie. In fact, I changed my rating to 3 stars, and I said the more I think about it, nothing in this movie makes sense.
So we're only a half star different.
Yeah, but I still liked it. I think I still like it more than you.
Yeah, probably. The poster doesn't have anything to do with the movie. Unbelievable.
I don't know. It
half-star
was
movie.
just
kidding.
what happened in the movie is very like. There's this point where the joke was made that okay. Did you think that him going back in time was actually real or a vision?
That's another thing. In Scott Pilgrim, are the X's real or are they just figments of, or are they metaphors for the struggles in a relationship?
Just like in the Bible, why can't it be both?
Well, now you just offended all the people who disagree with you.
I just offended all the people who take the Bible literally and
and the people who do the opposite of that. You just offended literally everyone.
yes, I nailed it.
I don't know. I don't remember this movie at all.
Okay,
literally.
it's probably not that
It's
memorable.
not.
of a
It's
movie.
probably more like a 3.
It's confusing. It's confusing, and there's stuff done. It's like you can't travel back in time, so I thought it was like a figment of his imagination. Then it's later found out that the girl he's interacting with writes a book with him mentioned in it, and he says, she says, I had a dream where he gave me earrings, and then we made love. And then so he gets the idea, if I give her earrings. So there's
starring
this whole,
love.
there's this whole subplot where he goes and tries to steal his fiance's earrings to go back in time to go make love to another girl. And it's like,
that doesn't happen though?
no, but
What
the thing is,
happens?
that doesn't happen. That never happens. He gives her earrings, but that never happens. So how did they... First of all, why is that written if it's an illusion? So it's not an illusion. But then if he actually goes back in time, then and they never make love, then how did she write that thing? I don't know.
I don't know. Let's just go
We're
to the
getting
next
too
movie.
promiscuous. Also, this movie is not worth talking about as much as we talked about.
Wait. This is since No Country for Old Men. We haven't done an episode since then, did we?
No.
So I have a lot more movies than the ones I mentioned.
Okay, I'll take a break. You go ahead.
Raging Bull. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. I want to watch it again. One of the best movies I've ever seen. Watch it. It's number 4 on IMDb or on AFI's top 100, I think. Number 4, number
Nice.
5. Grandtastic. Sunset Boulevard, way overrated. It's a good movie, nothing more.
Okay, so I'm not alone in that.
What did
I mean, it was great and it was stunning, but
I wouldn't even
kinda,
say it's great. I'd just say it's a good 4-star movie.
I was blown away when I watched it, but by the ending, not by the entire movie as a whole.
The ending is pretty good. I like the effect of him in the water was really good. It's not as good as everyone says. I watched In the Heat of the Night. It won Best Picture because the main character is black and it says racism's bad. That's the only reason it won Best Picture. The best part of the movie is there are some there's like 3 jaw-dropping shots in it. The rest of the movie is just good. So, 4-star movie. I watched half of Tropic Thunder, which is complete garbage. It's super... Okay, another thing, when you're writing dialogue, you should make stuff happen while you're writing it. This movie, literally, the pace of the movie is going, and then it just screeches to a stop, and then someone says a line, and then it keeps going, and then every time someone says anything, everything stops, and it is horribly written. I like Zoolander. but I did not like Tropic Thunder. To Kill a Mockingbird, I loved it. 5-star movie. Have you seen it?
Yeah,
I read
but
the
it was
book.
before I was enlightened, probably.
To Kill a Mockingbird is without a doubt one of the greatest movies of all time.
I need to rewatch it.
127 hours. Oh, my first Danny Boyle movie. Amazing. That's another masterpiece because you can't take a shot out of it.
I've heard so much about it.
But you don't go in with super high expectations because I didn't have super high expectations. Anyway, another thing with this movie, Scott Pilgrim uses a lot of breaking up the screen into separate parts, like during phone conversations.
Yeah.
This movie breaks it into like 3 different shots in the same screen for like seconds, and it's like really fast just to get as much information into this 90-minute movie as possible. And 94-minute movie, and it's really good. Whisper in the Heart, Clayton loaned it to me. It's directed by, can't pronounce his name, and written by Hayao Miyazaki. Amazing. Probably, I rate it 5 stars. It's probably not quite a 5-star movie, but I just had such a good time with it. I gave it 5 stars. The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. It's fine. It's not the worst. Wait, let me look at my.
Is that your third Wes Anderson movie?
No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's my 5th. It's better than Rushmore. Not as good as Bottle Rocket. And not as good as Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Moonrise Kingdom is still the best. There's just something about Wes Anderson I don't like. Even though Moonrise Kingdom is a 5-star movie, all his other movies just, they're kind of adult and kind of like, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but he is one of the best living directors by far. And his movies are exactly what he wants them to be. They're just not targeted towards me. I think he's kind of going for the more 24 to 40-year-old crowd. Because my dad likes his movies more than me. They're very stylish, very colorful, exactly what he wants them to be, but not what I want them to be, so they're not for me.
Well, then you should give him 0 stars because you don't like him.
No, I mean, Steve Zissou is, it's not amazing, but it's not a bad movie. It's just not for me. It's not my type of movie. Anyway, Kennon, do you have any more?
Yes, I have several.
I have 3 more. I think.
Okay. I rewatched Shaun of the Dead. Like I said, it gets better.
Did you watch it with your parents?
I did.
Did they like it?
They said it was very goofy and they had a good time with it. I kind of skipped around, so I felt bad because I skipped a lot of the stuff that makes all the like.
Wait, you skipped parts and watched it with your parents?
Yeah.
What'd you skip?
I skipped the beginning. I skipped to where all the fun stuff with the one shots happen. So
why didn't you just watch the whole movie?
Because I was trying to show them stuff, and then I was like, I guess we'll watch the rest of the movie.
Oh.
So I skipped a lot of the stuff that was like him throwing away the flowers and him closing the mirror. So a lot of the payoffs, they didn't get the setup. So I had to pause and explain. There was a setup here.
Oh, man.
So that was disappointing. They probably didn't get the full experience, but they said they liked it. Whiplash, I rewatched. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Okay, so something I was just like, oh wow, it's so good the first time. The second time I noticed so much more. Oh my gosh. Okay, so remember how last episode, have you seen this review yet?
What is it for?
My Whiplash rewatch?
Did it come out post Sunday?
June 17th. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Remember.
You'll know. Remember how last time we said it was very green and yellow?
Oh yeah, I saw your review. Yes.
Okay. So the thing is, the colors of the shots have meaning. And it's so good to notice. One of the big telling moments is when he's talking to the girl on the phone. And so my theory is, at least, that him having hope, his hopeful and comfort zone scenes are flooded with green. But anytime he's stressed, it's just flooded with yellow.
Yellow and orange.
Yeah, pretty much. Basically yellow. Also, something I didn't mention in my review, I'll get back to the color in a second. Whenever he's practicing, remember those shots when he's like banging on the cymbal and he's like staring at the cymbal?
It's like, is that when he punches it?
Right before, but like when he's practicing the thing and he's like sweating, the cymbal takes up 75% of the shot.
Oh yeah, I remember that shot. It's
Yeah.
kind of frame within a frame.
Yeah, it's frame within a frame, but like in D for Darius's video, he has no leading room, which is communicating that he feels squished. He feels contained in what when he's beating on the cymbal, he's trying to get out of the situation that he's in.
That is a good pickup. I did not pick up on that.
Oh, it's so good. And then the color, whenever it's green, like I said, he has hope. So when he's talking to the girl on the phone, there's a point where he says, "You want to come over to the thing I'm doing?" And he's sitting on his green bed. And then she says, "I have a boyfriend." And then it cuts to where the bed's out of shot. You can't see any green in the frame. His hope's gone.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
It's so good. And there's this at the finale when after the blue scene, which I haven't really understood why it's blue. I guess he's depressed. But he starts running to green where he thinks he has hope and comfort where his dad is. But then he turns around and for the greatest finale of all time.
And he confronts the orange yellow.
Yes.
Head on. Oh my gosh, I gotta rewatch this.
Oh, it's so good.
Maybe
What's
with no
another
sound.
example?
Did you say there's blue in it sometimes?
Yeah, there's one extremely blue scene is when he's failing and he doesn't know what the song is.
Did not notice that. Gonna have to watch it again.
Oh. Okay, in this, when the three drummers are going around, extreme yellow, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like bleeding and fighting, and it ends with Fletcher going, "You earned the part." The next shot when the practice is done, no yellow in sight. It's entirely green.
Oh, is that from outside?
Yeah, he's going outside.
Oh,
Remember when the green
that.
light falls on his face?
Oh yeah.
That's his fulfillment.
Oh my gosh.
He has hope. He strove, and he's like, "Yes, I win."
I'm glad this is my favorite movie.
Dude, it's so good. Anyway, another movie. Oh yeah, Larry Boy and the Rumor Weed. If you haven't heard of VeggieTales and the Larry Boy and the Rumor Weed, go watch it. This is the best VeggieTales. Have you seen VeggieTales?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Do you remember Larry Boy and the Rumor Weed?
No.
This is the darkest VeggieTales ever.
Did you rate it 5 stars?
4.5.
Oh man.
Dude, it's so good. The ending is bad. It's sad. It's a really disappointing third act, but again, it's for kids. So it's not just like Larry Boy dies in the end. But
oh
my gosh, it's so good. The
should have added
cinematography.
spoilers tags.
Okay, the cinematography, it's an animation obviously, but the cinematography is astounding. The music is incredible. Speaking of which, I have the Larry Boy DVD signed by Kurt Heineke himself, the guy who did the music for VeggieTales.
Oh my gosh, that's probably worth like $10 million right now.
Probably not, but it's worth $10 million to me. So I want to do a video essay on how great this movie is and analyze how great the music is. Oh my gosh. Larry Boy and the Rumor Weed. I went out of my way to add this movie to Letterboxd.
Oh, you added it to
Yeah,
Letterboxd?
I added Larry Boy and the
I'm
Rumor Weed.
so proud of you.
Because Larry Boy is technically a TV episode or whatever, so I added it as a movie.
Nice. So did you go look it up, and then it told you what site to go to?
Yeah, it's the movie database.
Nice.
I kind of talked about the Philadelphia story. Clayton said it's laugh out loud funny. It was laugh out loud funny at times, and it's got a great message and good music, I think I said, but it's I don't think the humor was for me. And then Dinosaur Island, if you want to find out what I think about that, you should listen to Whatever the Crap This Is. There'll be a link below.
Should we just upload that to this channel?
Actually, yeah. We'll
Because that'd
just,
be just easier. Just put all the podcast stuff that we do on
Yeah.
the channel.
And then I think it was last night, because my mom was sick, we watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is,
It's a classic, right?
yeah, it's a technical marvel because it's all like 2D animation drawn on top of 3D animate or 3D, like footage.
Yeah.
There's all the tunes drawn in. It kind of fails as a movie for me, not entirely because it's a great movie, but it misses the mark for me because it terribly walks the line between kids movie and adult movie because Jessica Rabbit is like the most promiscuous character you'll ever see in film. Besides,
does she have like the red dress?
yeah, besides someone who's actually completely nude, she's I don't know, that's probably an exaggeration, but it's kind of uncomfortable to watch the movie at times just because of her. And then the ending is over the top
Did
cheesy.
you watch it with your parents?
Yeah.
It makes everything more uncomfortable.
I know. But I read somebody somewhere said it's got one of the greatest endings of all time. They're wrong. The ending.
Wait, what is the ending? Because I don't care.
The ending is he goes through an arc, the main character, and he becomes funny again. Hooray! But the way the Roger Rabbit and Jessica Rabbit are tied up, and there's this thing that kills Toons, like this spray. And you know how those things where like a laser's coming close to somebody and it's gonna cut them, and you have to stop the laser or something.
Oh yeah.
So that's like this, but it's like this juice spraying at them. He turns it off probably 4 or 5 times, and then it restarts and then comes toward them again.
I have no idea what you're talking
So-
about, but keep going.
So basically, they're tied up in the air, and then it's like this juice that's gonna kill them, and it's coming closer, and it's like
Is it orange juice?
I don't know.
Is
It's
it apple juice?
it's something that kills Toons.
Grape juice?
And they're like, Eddie, please help us. And then he goes and turns it off. And then something starts it again. And they're like, Eddie, please help us. And he's like, okay, I'll turn it off. I'm fighting the bad guy who coincidentally also killed my brother for some reason. And it's like, oh, Eddie, please help us. It just happens over and over. And it's more of a this thing happened and people spent a lot of time and effort on this than a 5-star movie. It's not a 5-star movie. It's probably a great 4-star movie, maybe 4.5. But I gave it 3.5 just because it was hard to watch at times.
I don't have any want to watch it after hearing that, but I'll probably watch it eventually since it's.
It's the world building. I was talking about the world building in Baby Driver. The world building in this, the intro, is great. I feel like it's. What's another thing? I've seen something where it's like some person that's like in a movie or something, and then it's like the director says "and cut," and then it zooms out and it's like a movie set.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Tropic Thunder has that.
So that's basically this, and it's super well done. It's just, yeah, it very finely walks the line. It's not a kids movie. Anyway, those are my movies.
I've got 3 more.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, I rewatched the movie Frances Ha, which it's now in my top 10 for sure. It is the type of movie that if you described it to me, I'd be like, nope, I wouldn't like that. But the first time I watched it, I don't know why I rated it 5 stars, but I did. Then the second time, I liked it a little more. And then this time, it is spectacular. And I don't know if you'll like it at all, Kennon, but I love it. I don't even know why I love it. It's just everything about it just works for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway. And then I watched Citizen Kane, which is our true 5-star movie. You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I don't remember it as much as I need to. Like, I remember the ending blew me away because it's
The
like
Rosebud?
it was so subtle but so perfect too.
It does like most things first in movies. Like the cinematography is the best, probably some of the best. Well, now everyone, like, this movie invented a lot of stuff that now every movie does. That is one of the reasons people call it one of the best movies, if not the best movie ever made. It's number one. If I would say it's probably in the top 3 best movies ever made. If you were to make a list, maybe it's probably number one. It's not like my favorite movie. I didn't put it in my favorites list, but it is amazing. If you haven't seen it, don't wait till you're 16 like I did. Go watch it. And then I watched Thelma and Louise. Have you heard of this movie?
I feel like it's drawn a blank though.
Anyway, it's a classic. It's directed by Ridley Scott. My parents recommended it. I didn't like it. I just don't like road trip movies.
I like road trips. I don't know about road trip movies. Depends on how they're done. I like Dumb and Dumber.
I haven't seen Dumb and Dumber. Mad Max Fury Road is apparently a road trip movie. And literally that whole movie is just driving.
It has more driving than Baby Driver.
It has more drive than Drive. Drive has like 2 driving scenes in it, and it's named Drive. Mad Max Fury Road should be called Drive, 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 Drive. Anyway, I guess that's a road trip movie, and that's a masterpiece probably. So I guess I like that movie, but every other road trip movie, I don't know. Anyway, it's about 2 people who are going on vacation, and then one of them accidentally shoots a guy, and then so they're running from the police the whole movie. I gave it 2 stars. My solid do not like movie rating. It has a really stupid ending too. I'll show you how it's edited.
It's too bad because a lot of movies just have stupid endings. It's like, what, you had a great start and then it just flops, you know? A perfect example is a movie that I haven't watched in a while, but it's called Ricky and the Flash. Have you heard of it?
You told me it wasn't very good.
It's like a 3-star movie. It's like 4.5-star first half, and then they just introduce a plot point that they can't undo or backpedal enough from to have the message stand out, and it just then the next half of the movie is like, what are you trying to say? And it just you don't end with this sense of satisfaction. You're like, what is this movie? Which is sad because I feel like that's a lot of movies where they just have a great first half and they don't know how to finish it.
Yeah. What's a movie that has a horrible ending besides the ones we just said? I don't know. Anyway, should we do what classic movie did Clayton watch that we didn't?
Yep.
One
of them was the Philadelphia Story, right? Because I watched it because it was on his letterbox, and he said this movie's amazing.
Let me find. I haven't been on this thing. I haven't talked to him in like 10 days. So.
Oh my gosh.
Where is Clayton? Did he change his profile picture? I can't find him. Oh, there he is. Oh, I clicked on the wrong person. Clayton Hagberg. Oh my gosh, he watched Cars 3.
He did? Wow.
That's a classic.
Is it?
When was the last time we did an episode? He watched Grand Hotel, which I hear is a classic.
He said the hotel was grand.
He watched Casablanca, which is his favorite movie.
Nice. Is that Here's Looking at You, Kid?
I don't know. I rated Casablanca 4 stars. I don't know. I don't know if I'm crazy or not.
I think he has a more subtle taste in humor than us because he's used to all those movies now.
Yeah, he has a different taste of humor than we do.
Because we're all the mainstream kids, which I don't know his humor that much, so I don't know it enough to envy it. But
do you think what's the one musical, Singing in the Rain, is funny?
Yeah,
I think that's one of the funniest movies ever made.
I need to rewatch it to see.
And he thinks that's hilarious, so we kind of match. I also think Francis Ha is one of the funniest movies ever made, but I don't know if you or Clayton would think it was funny at all. I don't know.
Yeah, my parents didn't. I mean, they kind of liked Hot Fuzz, but I don't know if they would think it's like hilarious.
The thing about funny movies is Edgar Wright has spoiled us because his sense of humor is the best, obviously.
Obviously. What
And
about
then
Moonrise
Wes
Kingdom?
Anderson humor doesn't match with mine for some reason. And then just like What About Bob and movies like that. And then like sex jokes are crap. So it's like Edgar Wright's just the only director living. That's basically what I'm saying.
Nice.
I don't know why I said that. It's 2:18
Wow.
a.m. a.m. All right, he watched Storks, which he rewatched Storks.
Oh yeah, is that a classic? I didn't finish that movie yet.
You started it?
It was at church camp and we ran out of time, so like we'll pick it up if we have more time. We
Who
didn't have more
cares?
time.
This movie, like, just why?
It was the animation's kind of good. The message is, I think the message was kind of clear, but it's very awkward. It's a very awkward movie, but I think
Because it's about sex.
actually no.
Okay, why
'Cause,
is
like,
it awkward?
No, just because like the relationship between the stork and what's her face is very much based on awkwardness as they get to know each other, and it's kind of funny. I don't know. They play off of each other. I think it'd be. I don't know. It's kind of entertaining. I haven't finished it, so I don't know.
Cars 3, whatever. Who cares? Not gonna see it.
The trailer looked good, but I haven't finished. The
it was
teaser
that
trailer.
dark, gritty reboot.
What happens next
trailer.
will change everything.
Apparently, it's fine. Which who cares about a fine movie? I don't want a mediocre movie.
I want Spider-Man: Homecoming. Oh wait.
Okay, I didn't see everything. I kind of listened to some of it. Kind of closed my ears. After watching after listening to some of the things they said, I'm not looking forward to that movie as much.
What movie?
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh,
Just looks like it's gonna be bland.
oh, the
It's like,
people.
I want to be part of the Avengers. Oh, is there a trial to become the Avengers? Oh, I'm Tony
Oh,
Stark.
is that?
and I'm
is
gonna
that
be in this
what?
movie. Oh, blah blah blah.
Oh no! I'm
oh.
glad I missed that.
Sorry for telling you. Anyway, it's not gonna be better than Spider-Man 2, which is amazing.
We need to rewatch the trilogy.
Oh yeah, we gotta rewatch the trilogy before. Maybe we could watch that with Clayton because I don't think he's seen him yet.
Oh.
So we'll
Dude.
have our nostalgia, which we're probably gonna both rate up 16 out of 16. No, probably I don't know.
We're gonna have to watch so many movies tomorrow. I'm gonna have
It's
no
gonna
time,
rain all day.
dude. I am you.
Well,
I was gonna do school tomorrow. A little bit.
it's summertime, kid.
I'm not at summer yet. I am at the very end. This is my last week of school.
Make it next week. Your last week.
Oh my gosh.
Um.
I don't know. I can probably do a little bit Thursday.
Anyway, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy is great. I don't know if the third one's good, but the second.
I
one...
liked the third one. Everyone's hating on it because of his dance moves.
Oh yeah, I remember loving all of them, but I was like 10 years old, so
Yeah.
who knows?
Until I rewatch them, I can't argue with anything anyone said. So
Yeah.
This podcast has probably gone on long enough. What's our segments left? Do we have a David Valcanet for anything?
Let's do that tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't.
We'll do the rest
I'm
of the
so
segments
tired.
Tomorrow. Go watch Driving Babies. Directed by Wright's Edgar. It's got 69% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, one more thing I want to say
that's
before.
96 reversed. Oh wait, no, 98. So it'd be 89.
I want
Sorry,
to.
I totally failed that.
I want to say one more thing. When I posted last week's episode, which I guess this most recent Saturday's episode, which was the Kavinsky intro, there were a bunch of spammers that commented, "Nice video." Like as soon as it comes out, it's like, "Nice video. Come to my site for tracks to use in your intro because it'll make your stuff better." And at first I'm like, this guy's really interested. And so I'm like, I let the spam through. I'm like, I commented, "Thanks, we already have an intro. I used this because it was funnier."
Dude, that's obviously a bot.
I know.
That's
And
probably
okay,
not a person.
then I went to the channel. It's just it's a bunch of music. Every single thumbnail is like a girl in her underwear.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, okay, I'm done deleting your comment. I have no respect for you as a creator. You're probably a robot.
Probably a robot, yeah.
If your music isn't as good as Is he? Is he slow, or was he slow? Was he slow?
Slow means you're retarded. Wait.
No,
I got it
retarded
right
means
here.
you're slow. Was he slow? No.
Retarded
Get
means
it up.
slow. Was he slow?
Let's get
No.
pulled for copyright again.
Speaking of which, thank you, Kennon for making this podcast happen. He edits it. He posts it. All I do is talk and then say what title to post.
Thank you.
Which the title is just literally anyone could come up with it. Except for last week's Missouri Trippin' is better than No Country for Old Men. I'm proud of that one. So thanks, Ken, for literally doing everything. And I just sit here talking and texting you. When is the episode going to be up?
Dude,
Alright.
it would help me a lot if you time code some of these.
Yeah.
Was he slow? No. Good kid. Devil behind the wheel.
Was he slow? No.
No.
Retarded means slow. Was he slow? No.
Was he slow? Oh, yeah.
The scene
Thank
when they
you.
play this back is amazing.
Thank
it's
you.
great.
For listening to What Movie Should Kennon Watch, the greatest podcast.
It really is. Next.
Next episode, Meeks cut off Spider-Man. Who knows? Movie
Who
with Clayton.
knows?
Who
It's
knows?
just
I don't even
gonna
know if you
be
can listen to
good.
me, hear me. I'll turn this down a little bit. This episode is brought to you by
Banana bread.
Banana Bread. And
Bananas.
you can find us on the Letterboxd. The link will be in the description because Kennon will put it there. Go like the Z Triangle Facebook page. It'll be in the
Yes.
description. You just copy the description from last week. We'll talk about some stuff next week or whenever this. I don't know. Goodbye. Do we have anything else to say? Baby
Nope,
Driver's
just
a good
goodbye.
movie.
Go see Baby Driver. Thanks for listening. We'll be back at you probably next week.
All right. See ya.
Thanks
Bye.
for listening. Bye.
Was he slow?